Dude, I've been like on a total hot streak with the dating sites.
Really?
There's a girl that I met and broke up with already.
I'm here with Snippins, Lishee. Today we're talking Lishee's dating hot streak with friends who love to give each other the business.
So we had a date.
Mm-hmm.
We met online, and I said, well, let's do a video chat so that we can make sure that we're real, and that went well. And I'm sober. I've been sober 24 years, and she's in AA for 30-something years. And so we hit it off on that, and then we met and had like a cup of coffee together. If I feel like we're vibing at coffee, I'll like hold your hand. I told my sister about this, and she's like, keep your fucking hands to yourself, you freak. She said, that freaks girls out. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to be Mr. Handsy anymore. So we have coffee, and that's fine. And then the next night we meet again. She gets out of the car and she's all over me like a cheap suit, which is great. Smooching, smooch, 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 smooch. But while we're smooching, she says stuff like, oh, and God sent you to me for la, la, la. Not Jesus, but, you know, like in AA, there's spirituality, not necessarily like.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, it's not dogma. It's more a higher power of your understanding. And so it's like I'm a little freaked out about it. But she's saying a lot of things, and I tell her she's ticking boxes, you know. And she wants to go to Pebble Beach. I'm like, Pebble Beach? Are you fucking kidding me? I love golf. I'd love to go there. She's got a kid on the spectrum. So do I, you know. And then the next night we go out again. We go to see a movie. At the end of the movie, she goes, hey, you know, my kid's working until 1 a.m. We can go back to my place. And she goes, well, my house is really messy. And maybe we're going too fast. I'm like, if we're going too fast, I'm willing to slow down and stuff. But we go, and I'm like, it's on. We get there. The place is a mess. Every surface has something on it. Not necessarily filthy, but cluttery. You know, empty cans and shit. And her dog's like 1,000 years old and probably incontinent. And these are red flags for me. I'm really not happy about it. But there's no way I'm leaving without pussy. And so we have sex. But then the next day I'm like, yeah, she's texting me about God again. And like, I didn't want to text you too soon. I think maybe, you know, I shouldn't have jumped into bed with you so fast. And now you're going to not be interested and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, jumping into bed with me so fast isn't why I'm not interested. God did send me to you so that you could learn how to break up.
Oh, you gave it a spritz?
I didn't say nothing to her about it, but I called my buddy, you know, a mentor of mine. We call him a sponsor in AA. And I go, how do I break up with her with causing minimal collateral, you know, damage? And he's like, you got to be fucking honest. And I called her up and I said, hey, I don't want to move forward with this. And she was kind of mad. She goes, well, you were kind of leading me on. I go, yeah, maybe I was. I didn't say maybe. I said I was manipulative. And she said, what you told me I was ticking all these boxes, checking all these boxes. I go, all those boxes are still checked. I don't want to move forward with this. And I didn't want to tell her, because you're a pig. Your house is fucking filthy. You know what? If my house was that filthy, I wouldn't have invited guests over. I would have cleaned up and then had somebody over. So your judgment's kind of bad. You're telling me that I'm God sent, so you're putting huge pressure on me to be this figure that I'm not. I didn't have to say any of that, but I did cop to being manipulative. I said, I don't really want to move forward with this relationship. That's what I said. So then we had like a 15-minute conversation.
Oh.
Yeah, it was not, I did not want to be in
around my house like, oh my God. Oh no, maybe
So, you know what, Snippins?
What?
You and I may not be at that point in our relationship then.
I don't know how people date. I don't think I could do it. I usually just get a boyfriend and like hang on to them or marry them. I don't know. And then the times that I have been like single and I tried to go out and flamingle,
Right.
I would just sit there by myself and nobody would talk to me.
No, when I got my first divorce, I tried to go out to bars and meet people, but really I would just sit there.
Mm-hmm. I just went to places that I already knew people and stuff, and like neighborhood places, and nobody really ever.
In the olden days, you used to have a social event. You know, there was the church where everybody belonged to the same church. So you'd have a place to go mingle with people and get to know people in your area. But
people still use church to find people, and people
absolutely.
But
it's not prevalent.
Online dating sites to find people. It's not weird.
Yeah, my therapist told me to get on dating sites, so I tried that. But I got a date tomorrow night and then Thursday night.
Wow.
Lishee, look at you spritzing it up.
Dude,
Okay.
I'm on a hot streak. And then this girl that I was with, she would like come over on Sunday night. We would have our tryst.
Is she the air supply one?
No, that's the air one hasn't responded to any of my texts in a long time.
Mhm.
Daddy like she'll go. I'll text her and she'll like ghost my texts, and I'll say we plan on getting together Sunday, and I say, hey, are you coming over? And she doesn't respond all day, and so I'm like, what the fuck? And finally, I hadn't reached out to her in months, and I was lonely one Sunday, and I texted her, and she was like, oh my god, la 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 la, and she was super friendly, and it was a great conversation, and we're gonna get together Sunday somehow, hopefully. And I really like her. She has a kid on the spectrum, so her pictures, she looks really old in her pictures, but when you see her in person, when I see her in person, I find her very sexy. But her pictures, she looks like some grandma.
I could be a grandma.
Something about the way her pictures are taken that just they're not as attractive as she is in person. Like she has, it's sort of gray hair, but like she has like some weird red ponytail thing that's kind of hot. And then
You see my gray hairs?
gray hair is sexy as fuck. Who
I have
cares?
so many gray hairs.
It's
Well, if
sexy.
your hair is all gray, it's sexy. If it's just
It's natural and it falls and it's fucking hot. I'm fine. Like, look at me. I got fucking bald ass head. I don't care. She does it for me, man. We were in bed and she did this thing. It turns out it's like a porn thing. I was telling my buddy about it, who's really into porn. Like she's in bed and she's got some type of top thing on, and she goes boom, and they come popping out. And my buddy says, yeah, that's called a boob drop.
oh, is it like a bra without cups?
I don't know, because we were in bed, but we were hot and heavy, and she goes, they come flinging out, It's like she knew what she was doing. It was really cool.
What you're saying is she unleashed them upon you.
It was great. It was
With pizzazz.
yeah, it was a move. It was really fun. Pizzazz is a great word.
Yeah, with flair. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
She didn't just show you her tits. She presented her tits to you.
when we were in bed, she was like, I mean, she's as old as me, I guess, and she was like, I'm so wet. And it's like some women at this age, they're like, I'm going to need some help with that. And I'm like, of course. But she was, and it was so fun.
Is it true that if it's too wet, that it's not good?
I've been with ladies that were like so turned on that it was kind of like all over the place. But you know what? Because it's too wet, you're loose down there. But
it wasn't a looseness thing. It was like it's like he would dry his dick off and then stick it in.
Yeah, you get a towel and a wet towel and wipe it off because it's so juicy, But
I don't think I have that anymore. This was when I was much younger.
it's not necessarily loose like that, because I mean every vagina is supposed to let something through that weighs like 8 pounds. That's what they're made to do, So really, it's not like your hog is so big it's gonna blah blah blah. But when you're that wet, it has that.
It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Yeah. But yeah, and I've talked to guys like that. It's like when you're with her and it's you have to bring a towel. That's kind of fun. That's when your cock is so hard you can cut glass with it. It's fucking great.
It is always a plus, yes.
Yeah. Nowadays it's like when I get to that point, it's like I think it's a fire hose and it turns out to be an eyedropper.
Are we talking about quantities of excretion, or are we talking about?
We're talking about the
ejaculate?
Yeah, the velocity of the ejaculation. It feels like I'm gonna stand back, everybody. Cover. But that's the way you think. That's the way it still feels. But like I remember, I was with the girl once. I ejaculated, and it's like she goes, "Oh my god, I heard it shoot by my ear."
Oh, yeah. Someone came in my ear once. It was very uncomfortable.
But that's kind of stuff happens in your 20s and 30s. It ain't happening now that I'm old. That ain't happening.
I'm not even going to tell you how it happened. It happened. It just happened. It didn't fly past my ear. It was close to my ear when it happened.
That's what I miss the most.
Just hosing down the walls.
Just getting it all over the place.
Oh, Robbie got a black flashlight and looked at our sheets, and I was like,
Jackson Pollock.
We need to wash our sheets.
I didn't know ejaculate was fucking blacklightable.
It is.
It is.
It very much is.
Don't ever use a black light when you're staying at a hotel because you're going to be very disappointed at the
Oh, thank you for that. I won't.
Because you can't see it until you turn out the lights and turn that light on, and you're like, oh.
It's everywhere. Well, it's any bodily fluid, so blood, and I mean they use them on crimes.
I had no idea. I know gin glows under a black light.
It wasn't gin. It was jizz.
It was
So close.
So I have tallied our votes, and feel free to write in the comments section who you think is never right in this episode.
Is this like rude of me to like be talking out of school, about these women that I've been with?
Oh.
Snippets, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm smooching my dog.
You're never right.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want more content from the Never Right podcast.